For those I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Kellie Farrar. I'm a qualifying national marketing director. I live in Brentwood, New Hampshire with my husband, Kevin, and our two daughters, Abigail, who's a freshman in college down at Emmanuel College in Boston, and Audrey, who's a junior at Exeter High School. And I have been partnered with the Juice Plus Company now for 13 and a half years. And it's just been such an incredible journey of, learning and growing and experiencing things that I really don't truly believe I would have ever experienced without my partnership with this company. And when I was thinking about this call tonight, I was like, I'm going to pull out something that I've been doing on my launch calls with new team members that are coming aboard. And it's a piece of the launch that I feel is really important for anybody to hear, whether, you're brand new and this is your first week as a Juice Plus distributor, or you're, seasoned and you're measuring your time in decades. So one of the things I realized about myself over the last 13 and a half years in this business is I've been a very good observer. And I've taken the time to really observe people that I would classify as successful in this business. Now, success is one of those words that has kind of a different meaning, I feel, in our culture than it may, in other corporate cultures out there. But success in our industry is, I don't think it's determined by dollars. I think it's determined by growth. Personally, I think it's determined by the magnitude of impact that you've had, the amount of investment you've made into the mission of inspiring healthy living around the world. And when I was observing, successful people, I started to kind of realize that there was a consistency in certain success traits that these people had. And I thought, well, if there's a number of these people that I respect and admire, and that I can kind of identify similarities as far as traits that they all have, there's something here. So I started to kind of, really make note of these success traits. And when I started to make note of them, I started to put them into practice myself. So these are success traits that I have kind of observed from successful people that are Juice Plus partners. And I share these with brand new distributors because I don't want them to have to wait 13 years to figure this stuff out. I want people to know this now. So I'm going to go through these traits. I'm going to go through them a little quicker than I might in a launch call for time reasons, but I want to, if you have any questions after and we run out of time, reach out to me on Voxer and I'll be happy to answer any questions, or if you want me to elaborate on any one of the traits, I'd be happy to do that. So I'm just going to begin with number one. The first success trait that I have observed that successful Juice Plus partners have is they invest time into their business every single day. And the investment of time has a different definition as it might in it differs from the time investment maybe in other professions, because time investment as a Juice Plus partner is not about abundance. It's not about, a huge amount of time. It's more about the consistency of time. So if you're someone who maybe only has an hour a day, you're making the concentrated effort to invest that hour in to your business every single day. It doesn't mean that that hour can't be broken up into maybe 2 half-hour chunks or 15-minute increments, whatever it looks like for you, but it's a consistent investment of whatever time it is you're able to give every day. Because people that are successful in this business, they don't work their business for a half an hour on Monday and then don't touch it again until Thursday. So it's like if you're cooking a dinner and you have, the bulk of your meal on the front burner, You don't want to take that bulk of the meal and put it to the back burner and just leave it there simmering, because it will end up burning. You got to keep it on the front burner so you can keep an eye on it. And that's what successful people do. They take their business, they put it on the front burner, and they invest time in it consistently every single day. So again, it's not about the amount of time. It's not about abundance. It's about consistency. The second trait that I've identified that successful Juice Plus partners have is they do make an investment, a financial investment back into their business. So we all know that it's a $50 annual franchise fee to be a distributor for the Juice Plus company. And that annual franchise fee basically gives you the license to share Juice Plus in all the countries we are licensed to share Juice Plus in. But the investment really shouldn't just end there, because, it is kind of a cliche, but it's a true cliche that sometimes you do have to spend some money to earn more money. And ways in which I see successful Juice Plus partners investing into their business is to, attend events that have a cost, attending regional events, attending boot camps, attending our national conferences. Those are investments back into your business. They're also investments back into yourself. So that monetary investment, and I'll be the first to tell you that when I first started this business, the $50 franchise fee was a really big deal for my family, because we had built up a lot of debt. Our own Juice Plus products were adding to our debt. So I didn't have a lot of extra resources, but when I made the commitment 4 months into my business to go to my first leadership conference, my husband and I sat down and we had this conversation, and, we both said, this is an investment in our future. This is an investment in our business. So it was something that I made a priority, so that I was, following in the footsteps of people just 4 months into my journey, seeing that successful people that I had already met were going to conference. So I'm like, if they're going to conference, I'm going to conference. If they're going to a regional event, I'm going to a regional event. And it is a huge investment back into your business, without a shadow of a doubt. Another success trait that I've observed is that successful Juice Plus partners are very teachable. They're very coachable. They show up to listen and to learn. They follow the advice. They follow the coachings of, members of their upline, whether it's their sponsor or anyone else in their upline. I know that when I'm sharing from a coaching standpoint, I'm sharing my truth based on maybe mistakes I've made, and I'll be honest. I'll say, geez, don't do what Kelly did. Don't make this mistake, because I wish I knew then what I know now, because I wouldn't have made that choice. I wouldn't have made that mistake. So somebody who is teachable and coachable is going to invest in understanding that we have a tried and proven system. We do not need to reinvent the wheel. Now, with that said, there are sometimes advancements in technology like social media. That didn't exist 13 years ago. So it wasn't part of our tried and proven system. And now it's becoming a part of our tried and proven system. But there is a way to be very successful using social media. So if your sponsor is guiding you, providing you even language or imagery, or giving you, just great advice, listen to it. With that said, I also feel that people who are successful in this business also are open to learning and hearing what others have to say. That doesn't mean that in the end, they're going to agree, but they also understand that as we are bringing on more millennials, people from different generations, younger generations, they do have very good ideas. And if those ideas make sense, and they, you can see how they fit into our model of our tried and proven system, then it makes sense to be open-minded to that. So it's not about my way or the highway. There should be an open dialogue and a mutual respect, but just always know that your sponsor and the people in your upline have walked the journey before you, which means they've made the mistakes before you. And they're just trying to buffer you from having to make some of those same mistakes. Another success trait that I've seen successful Juice Plus partners do, or experience or participate in, is the concept of events. So both from an attending standpoint and from a planning standpoint, a hosting standpoint, there is no doubt that events are really up there with almost being one of the #1 success tools that we have. They're a way to not only showcase our products, they're a way to showcase our culture and our community and our business. And, attending events helps to support the event, whoever's organizing it, helps to continue your education, helps to bring your team together to create kind of a team synergy, a team unity. It helps to grow your business, particularly if you're bringing people with you to these events, which is something I've observed successful people doing. Is it's very alone. They will come with people. They will always have guests with them. Success people also plan and host events. Whether, and keep in mind, an event can be a sit-down cup of coffee. It can be a lunch date, or it can be, a salad in a jar party, or it can be a wine and wellness event, or a tower garden presentation. We're gifted with so many amazing opportunities to have creativity and flexibility around events. But that's one area where you will not see successful people become complacent. They will continue to be active with events, both from an attendance standpoint and from a planning and hosting standpoint. Another success trait is successful Juice Plus partners are very, very adamant about the success of three-way connections, whether those connections happen on the phone, whether they happen on Zoom, whether they happen in a sit-down environment, face-to-face. That third-party validation experience is huge. It's huge, huge, huge. And I will say that the people that I have observed and talked to, so understand that part of my observation is not just visual, it's been more experiential and really talking to people and getting a success of, getting a sense of what helped to drive and build their success. And without a doubt, every single one of them says three-way connections. And, when they were over the phone, that was a good way to provide validation. But now that we have Zoom, to be able to look at people's eyes, be able to read people's body language, be able to just, see as you could, even just talking to you guys, I'm using my hands, I'm animated, I'm excited, I'm passionate. And you can feel that and experience that when you bring a third party into your connection. And it's not that your upline, whoever you're bringing on, doesn't feel that you couldn't do it yourself, but you don't need to do it all by yourself. You're never alone. You always have the support of people on your team, your sponsor, your upline, your sideline. And that's something to just make note of, is when you are putting together a connection experience, know that it doesn't have to be your sponsor or somebody in your upline. It can be somebody from your sideline relationships, because those sideline relationships help to support you just as much as your upline. So, just invest in that three-way connection and watch your business grow. Successful Juice Plus partners are students. They're ongoing, continual, perpetual students. They're always open to learning. They never feel like I've arrived. They never feel like I know it all. You know, they're always open to learning from others. They're always investing in, you know, both personal development, professional development, and, you know, really kind of picking the brains of others around them. That's one of the great things that I actually love most about conference is, you know, just meeting other Juice Plus distributors and just asking them a simple question like, what's working really well for your business right now? And just listening, you know, hearing what people are sharing. I really have gotten some of my best information standing in line for the bathroom, you know, because you have kind of a captive audience. You have someone in front of you and you have someone behind you. So make use of that time. You know, networking with other Juice Plus distributors is an incredible use of time. And those distributors become your friends, and those friends can help support your business by hopping on a three-way connection. So, you know, being a student, always being open to learning, always investing back into yourself, your own personal knowledge, is an incredible way to be successful in this business. Juice Plus professionals that are successful have learned to ask really good questions. So they don't go into a conversation making the conversation about themselves, you know, jumping full on into what Juice Plus has done for them, or sharing every benefit they've experienced. There's a time and a place for that. But in the beginning, when you're stepping into developing a relationship with somebody, or you're starting to develop some rapport with somebody, you're really trying to convert that stranger into a relationship. Make that relationship, make that experience about them. Because by asking questions, you're going to find out everything that you need to know in order to bridge that gap between that person being, you know, kind of, you know, someone who's a, you know, kind of a little bit of a contact to someone who's a solid potential partner for your business. And the art of asking questions is something that when you, I don't want to say master it, because I don't think any of us ever master anything, because we always want to be open to learning and experiencing, growing. But the power of asking questions, that one tool alone can transform your business. And I know that because that's what it did to my business. And the tool that I use to start learning how to get comfortable with asking questions is a book that you can read, or it is on audio as well. And the book is How to Succeed in Network Marketing Without Fear, Anxiety of Losing Your Friends. And the author is Michael Oliver. Excuse me. And that book did such a great job of transforming my thinking to making the conversation about the other person, asking them high-yielding questions. And when I got an answer that I was seeking, not just settling for that answer, but really diving even a little bit deeper. So what I mean by that is, if, you know, I'm talking to somebody and I'm talking about their job, and I said, you know, if I say, geez, how are things at work? Which is a pretty traditional question. People say, oh, they're good. Really, explain to me what's good, what's happening, what's vibrant and exciting for you right now. And then I sit on that and let them answer. But if they say, well, you know, I don't know if it's good. You know, I've got this new boss. I'm not very impressed with them. And, you know, my company also said that they're not giving raises this year. You know, money's a little bit tight. You know, I've built up this huge vacation bank, and I haven't really been able to use it because it's just, you know, not realistic that I can even take time off. They say, really? Wow. How long have you been with this company? Let them answer. Well, is this your passion job? Is this something that you're, just deeply passionate about? Is this something that you wake up every day and you can't wait to get in there and help build the dreams of the person who started this company? The more questions you ask, what I'm gathering is information. And when I feel like I've gathered enough information, I might respond with, hey, listen, it breaks my heart to hear that you're not getting a pay raise this year. You've got a lot of vacation time, but you don't feel like you can take it. You're working for somebody who you really don't respect, admire, or even like. I don't know if what I'm doing in my partnership with the Juice Plus company would be a good fit for you. But if you're open, if you've got like 20 minutes to have a conversation, I'd love to gift you some learning. I'd love to, have the opportunity for maybe you to meet my friend so-and-so, and maybe the three of us can just have a conversation around, is this right for you? What do you think? Because I have unlimited vacation time. I don't have a boss or a manager or anyone that I have to report to. And if I want a pay raise, I just give it to myself because I go out and share Juice Plus with more people. So what do you think? But what I've done is I listened to their grievances and I've put them back upon them in the form of a solution that's called the Juice Plus business. So asking questions is what successful people in this business do. And then finally, the last trait that I've identified is that successful Juice Plus partners are really, really good listeners. They're listening to what people are saying. They're listening to the emotions. They're listening to the physical cues. They're listening to the verbal cues. They're really getting a sense for where people are at, not only from a prospect standpoint, but also from a team standpoint. If I have a team member who's going through something, and, I know it's taken all of their effort, all of their time, all of their energy to get through whatever it is they're dealing with right now in life, the last thing I'm going to do is be like, so, who are you talking to? What's going on? You got any events planned? It's just, you have to be compassionate. You have to be a good listener. You have to be a good observer. And you do the same with prospects. If someone is talking to me about some of the challenges in their life, I'm going to come from a place of empathy. I'm going to come from a place of compassion. I'm not going to dive right in and be like, your life sounds like it stinks. You should do what I do because I'm having the time of my life. It's like you've got to be a good listener while still being compassionate and empathetic. But collectively, the investment of time, the investment of money, being teachable and coachable, attending and planning and hosting events, being an ongoing student for your own knowledge, for your own power, asking really good questions, taking time to build that rapport and those relationships, finding out what the wants and needs of others are so that you can offer a good, solid solution. And being a good listener are all things that I have in my 13 years identified successful Juice Plus partners having. So I hope that this information helps you a little bit. I hope that you learned something new tonight. If you would like to unmute your line if you have a question, please feel free to ask. The name of the book was How to Succeed at Network Marketing Without Fear and Anxiety of Losing Your Friends. And it's by Michael Oliver. So the next call that we're having is the Cortese call, blasting off to the Juice Plus Live Sacramento, California conference with Karen Johnson and her team. And that number is 641-715-3580. and the code is 505064 pound. Are there any questions?
Hi, it's Danielle, and can you hear me okay? I put my headphones on. Just a second. You went through a script on, I struggle with approaching people about the business. Like I do want to invite people to join me on the business, but I feel like I'm too forward about it, and I don't. I thought your wording of the way that you worded it was fantastic. Is it possible to have that in writing?
So there was a document that was sent out maybe about a month or a month and a half ago through Team Rock. It contained a bunch of different scripts, both for the business and for the is Mike and Bonnie are your upline sponsor? Yes. Okay, Bonnie, do you remember receiving that?
I don't right off, but I'll have a look tonight and see if we can find it. We'll get it created.
If you did not, let me know, and I will resend it to Michelle and just ask her to just again send it to all of Team Rock, because that was a Danielle, just so you know, that was an accumulation of language and verbiage from people on my team, people on Team Rock, and members of the Gompers team, and we kind of just put all this language together and shared it so that you could literally copy and paste. But it's, you know, I will say just kind of more in a general vague response to that request is it's not so much about the magic of the words in which you're using. It's about listening to the person that's sharing with you their wants and needs, because they are sharing. People are sharing with us all the time. But we just have to stop long enough to listen, and particularly around the business. You know, people are expressing their dissatisfaction with their job or their income or their boss or their company or, you know, whatever. They're expressing it all the time. And when you really hone in and listen to it, you know, like if someone says like, oh my God, I cannot stand my boss. I just have to leave this job. Don't jump right in then and be like, hey, you know, maybe you could, you know, learn about what I do. You know, it's more like just sit on it a little bit and just tell me about that. Tell me, what does your boss do that is making you feel like you're done, that you're ready to make a change? You know, and let them talk, let them vent, because in that venting and talking, they're going to share more with you. And once you have a big enough picture, you know, I also like to repeat back to them. So what I've just heard you say, Danielle, is you're really dissatisfied with your boss. You're finding that you can grow no more at the company. You've reached the highest income level that your company is willing to pay you for the work that you do. And you're just burnt out. Am I hearing you correctly? And if your response is, yeah, you've nailed it on the head, that's a great opportunity to say, hey, listen, I have no idea if what I'm doing in my partnership with the Juice Plus company would be a fit for you, but I don't have a boss. I have unlimited vacation time. My income can grow anytime I want it to grow, just based on my want to inspire healthy living around the world. Do you have 20 minutes to have a conversation with myself and my friend and mentor so-and-so? I love what they shared with me 13 years ago. I'd love for you to hear it too. What do you think? I mean, it's just, at that point, you kind of have them in a place of they're like, oh yeah, you know, let's have a conversation. So, but we'll make sure that you get that document. Any other questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Danielle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if Mike's in there in the background too. Thank you so very much for being on the call tonight. I know that this was recorded, and Michelle will transfer the recording and we'll get it out to you guys as well. All right?
Thank you so much, Kellie.
Thank you, Kelly.